Well, the NHL playoffs of this year are happening in just a few short days. Today, I am setting it up as if the playoffs were starting right now. Today is Wednesday, April 17th, and a lot of the matchups are set, but there will be some juggling in the next couple of days. Regardless, this is the playoff picture we would be looking at if the playoffs started right now. It'll be very similar come Saturday and Sunday, the weekend when the playoffs begin. We've done this for a few years now. Today, we're just going to do a full simulation through every single matchup. We're just going to zip through it. In the future, I want to play the games and use the team that I think is going to win in those series and see who we can end up winning the cup with. What I would also like to do eventually is just watch the games, set the periods to like 2 minutes and just watch through them and see how they play out. So there's a few different options, but again, what we always start with is simulating the entire playoffs to see who comes out the Stanley Cup champs. There's so many great possibilities. The only few teams I'm going to rule out that I cannot see winning. Again, this is no bad blood involved here. I'm going to pick the Islanders and the Capitals. Those two teams alone, I'm going to say have very little to no chance. Every other team, if they won the Stanley Cup, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, they had moments in the season where they looked really good. So that's my personal opinion. But anyway, you never know what could happen. We're going to start simulation here and see the outcome. The periods are set to 5 minutes. It is set to Superstar. Not that that makes a huge difference, but again, matchup after matchup, we're going to simulate here. Let's get started. Kings and Dallas, game 1. Dallas takes game 1. Nashville and Vancouver, game 1. Ooh, Nashville taking game 1. Tampa and Florida. Florida taking game 1. Okay, we're just going to simulate all the game 1s, and then we'll kind of zip through it a little bit quicker in the next. The Rangers taking game 1, as expected. Winnipeg, Colorado. Colorado taking game 1. Edmonton and Vegas. Edmonton taking game 1. And then Boston and Toronto. Oh, there's going to be a lot of blood spilled in that one. With Toronto taking game 1. Okay, so the last series for game 1, the Hurricanes beat the Islanders 1-0. So one thing I also like to peek at every few games is to see who's leading the league. Draisaitl with a 5-point game in the one game they played against the Knights. Obviously, he's the sole reason why they won that. We got Nuge there and Evander Kane with 3 points, but 1 goal and 4 assists for 5 points. Just ridiculous. 1 shot and 1 goal for Draisaitl as well. Probably going to be a huge X factor there for them. But we're going to go ahead and simulate 2 more games to see how these games play out. 3 games into a series, things can really shape up to be either a 3-0 series or a 2-1, obviously. So let's see how all these series shape up going forward. So a lot of crazy outcomes simming through the next 2 games of each series. We got Dallas up on the Kings 3-0. Winnipeg and Colorado. Colorado's up 2-1. The Preds are up 2-1 over the Canucks. Oilers taking it to the Stanley Cup champs 3-0 right now. And then we got Florida 2-1 over Tampa, Boston 2-1 over Toronto. The Capitals are up 2-1 over the Rangers. Can you imagine that? Goodness. And then we got the Hurricanes 2-1 over the Isles. Already we're seeing a little bit of uncertainty in some of these series. I did not predict for one the Rangers going down against the Caps, but we're going to simulate 2 more games, which is probably going to eliminate some of these series from our simulation, but that's typically what happens, right? So let's see what happens here through simulating 5 total games in each series. Dallas wins 4-1. Winnipeg 3-2 over the Avs. The Preds 3-2 over the Canucks. Edmonton sweeps the defending champs. And then we got Tampa 3-2 over Florida. They've come back. 3-2 Boston over Toronto. That could be a tight finish there. The Capitals are still up 3-2 over the Rangers. And then we got the Islanders 3-2 over the Hurricanes. Honestly, like those 2 series right there on the bottom right side, the Rangers and the Hurricane series, I thought they were going to sweep those opposing teams. If not, maybe give them a game or 2. I can't believe that they're both down. All right, let's continue forward. We're going to simulate 1 more game in each of these series. Some of them are going to be pushed to 7 for sure. Let's see which ones are finished and which ones get pushed to game 7. Here we go. Winnipeg and Colorado, game 7. Vancouver and Nashville, game 7. And then we have the East. Everything is done. Everything is finished. And my mind is completely blown. I'm sure along with yours. Tampa Bay beats Florida 4-2. Boston beats Toronto 4-2. The Capitals beat the Rangers 4-2. And the Islanders beat the Hurricanes 4-2. What is happening here? Complete chaos in the East. Every series is done, but we got 2 Game 7s left to look at in the West, and we're going to quickly go do that now. So what we're actually going to do for this is I'm actually going to just simulate through period by period, and we'll see how it plays out a little closer detail here. Whew. So first period, We're going to sim it up. 3-1 for the Canucks at the end of the first period. Second period, 4-3 for the Canucks. Last to score was Nashville. The Canucks finish off the Nashville Preds and advance in the first round for many, many years. It's been a long time since they've been to the playoffs, and there you go. They have advanced with a 5-4 win over the Preds. All right, let's continue forward here. One more Game 7, Winnipeg, Colorado. End of the first period, 1-1. Colorado, Nichushkin scores 12-12 into the second. Come on, Winnipeg. I really want Winnipeg to pull this one out. Frick. Winnipeg loses 5-2 to the Colorado Avalanche. They are eliminated in the first round yet again. Boy, oh boy. They gave up 48 shots in that too. That's tough. Winnipeg's out of the playoffs. Colorado is moving on. And that sets up round 2 of the NHL 2024 playoffs. Dallas and the Avalanche will face off. The Canucks and the Oilers will face off. Boston and Tampa, and then the Islanders and the Capitals will face off, which, wow, that is just ridiculous, man. Goodness. All right, simulate game by game here. First games, we're going to simulate it through all of them. Let's see the outcome here. The Stars take game 1. The Canucks take game 1. That would be an insane series. The two last Canadian teams in the playoffs facing off in the second round. Boston takes game 1, and the Capitals take game 1. That is going to be a dogfight, that series, that last one there, if I had to guess. We're going to go ahead and simulate 2 more games, 3 games total through each series here, and we'll check the outcomes at the end there. The Stars are leading the Avalanche 2-1. The Canucks are leading the Oilers 2-1. Boston is down. Tampa is leading Boston 2-1. And the Capitals are shocking the world, folks. They're up 3-0 over the Islanders. Barely make it into the playoffs, yet there they are. About to go to the East Final. Stars up 3-1. 2-2 series, Battle of Canada. 2-2 series, Boston and Tampa, making it a 3-game series. And the Islanders squeak out a game. My goodness. First off, can we just recognize this right now? Look at Draisaitl's numbers. 8 games played, 16 points, 8 goals, 8 assists. Like, in the playoffs, obviously mind-blowing numbers, but let's continue down the way here. We have 3 more players with 15 points. Let's simulate one more. See what we got here. Look at the Avalanche's record. 5-6 in the playoffs. Certainly not favoring them here. Let's see what happens. Avalanche win a game. Who's going to split this here? Canucks are up 3-2. Boston comes back after being down 2-1 and are up 3-2. And in this final series, Islanders win. They're making it a series. I mean, as simple as that. Okay, let's keep it going here. Dallas eliminates the Colorado Avalanche, winning with a 4-2 series. Let's see what happens in the next series here. Game 7, Battle of Canada. Man, I wish I could just watch that. I just want to watch it to see what happens. Game 7, Boston and Tampa. Okay, are the Islanders going to force it? Oh my goodness. The Islanders forced the series. We have 3 Game 7s, and you know how we do it. Period by period. Starting with number 1, Battle of Canada, period 1. 2-2. Garland scores 2, and then Darnell Nurse and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins answer back, making it 2-2. End of the first. Next period, it's still 2-2. What do we got for the last period? I don't want to look. 4-2 Edmonton wins. The Oilers advance. Oh my goodness, dude. What is happening? Next series, Boston and Tampa. Let's simulate this full game here. First period, 2-2. 4-2 at the end of 2. Not looking good for Boston. 4-3. That's it. Boston's eliminated. Are we going to get a choke out of the Capitals after performing incredibly up until when they started blowing 3 games in a row against the Islanders? It's going to be tough to win. We simulate it. Washington advances. Look what we have here. Washington and Tampa, Dallas and the Oilers. Probably one of the most unpredictable, unexpected West Final and East Final. Who's going to be in the Stanley Cup Final? Frick, I don't know. Let's simulate the first 2 games and see what happens here. The teams that have been doing so well up to now are just stomping the competition. Dallas is up 2-0, and the Tampa Bay Lightning are up 2-0 over the Caps. Here we go, 2 more games. Okay, Dallas is up 3-1 over the Oil. Tampa is up 3-1 over the Caps. Here we go, 1 more game each. Oilers have made it a series, and the Tampa Bay Lightning are going to the Stanley Cup Final again. Dude, if that happens, I'm going to be so pissed. Look at their record, 12-6 in the playoffs. Got a 3-2 series. Can we get a Canadian team in the Stanley Cup final? Dallas eliminates the Edmonton Oilers, and we have a Stanley Cup final of Dallas versus Tampa Bay. Game 1, Dallas takes Game 1. Tampa takes Game 2. Dallas takes Game 3. Dallas takes Game 4. There you go. There you have it. Man, I hope that's not the case. I don't want to see Dallas win. Who wants to see Dallas win the Stanley Cup? Not me. Man. All right. Well, there you have it. The Dallas Stars are the Stanley Cup champs in our NHL 24 simulation of the 2024 playoffs. If they started today, the matchups could be different. But regardless, a disappointing finish in my opinion, with the Dallas Stars winning. That's all, folks. We'll see you next time.